My heart is where the Hebrew home is. For where the heart is, that's where you find the Hebrew home. Hebrew home, Hebrew home. Good morning, Hebrew home. My home, my heart is where the Hebrew home is. For where the heart is, that's where you find the Hebrew home.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's edition of Good Morning Hebrew Home. I am your host for Friday, Liisa Murray, and let's get right into it. Today is Friday, January 22nd. The weather, we've got partly cloudy skies for most of the day with highs of 40 degrees. Don't laugh at me. It's a crazy morning this morning. On this day in history, in 1934, Dmitri Shostakovich's opera Lady Macbeth premieres in Leningrad. In 1938, our town, Thornton Wilder's Pulitzer winner of Small Town Life in Grover's Corners, New Hampshire premieres. In 1953, another play, Arthur Miller's play The Crucible, premieres in New York City. This was an interesting one, I thought. In 1964, the world's largest cheese at 15,723 kilograms was manufactured in where else? Wisconsin, for New York's World Fair. In 1968, Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In premieres on NBC. In 1968, Lady Soul, the 14th studio album by Aretha Franklin, is released and becomes the Billboard Album of the Year in 1968. In 1969, some sports news, Ray Campanella and Stan Musial elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. In 1973, George Foreman TKO's Joe Frazier in 2 rounds to win the WBC and WBA heavyweight boxing titles in Kingston, Jamaica. Frazier knocked down 3 times in both first and second rounds. In 1973, Roe v. Wade, the U.S. Supreme Court legalizes most abortions. In 1984, Apple Macintosh, a new Apple computer, was introduced. The ad for the new Macintosh computer was first displayed during the Super Bowl. Now, there are a few fun holidays we are celebrating today. We're celebrating, it's Celebration of Life Day, which is just celebrate. Life, it's great, huh? Celebrate, we're here. National Answer Your Cat's Questions Day. Now, Olivia, what do you think that means? As Olivia's here off screen, but as a cat owner, what do you think that means?
You know, I'm not sure, but I do have to share there is an app now that translates your cats what they're saying.
Oh, wow.
So, if you're having trouble answering their questions, it may be an app that you want to look into. And just reporting live. Reporting live.
So if you didn't hear that, Olivia's saying there is actually now an app for your phone that you can use to translate your cat's meows. It's called Meow Talk. So, if you're having trouble, as she said, answering your cat's questions, perhaps you need to utilize that app. It's National Blonde Brownie Day, otherwise known as Blondies. We got any Blondie fans here? We get a lot of like these. Yeah, I'm more of a regular brownie fan myself, but I'll take a Blondie. And this is the most exciting holiday, I think. Today is National Hot Sauce Day. Now, if you know me, if you've ever eaten a meal with me, if you've seen me in the staff cafeteria putting Frank's Red Hot on a few things, I'm a big hot sauce fan. I have a little bit of a hot sauce collection. So I put together a little presentation about the history of hot sauce. So let's go over to our computer area, the history of hot sauce and its spicy past. So everyone's heard of hot sauce. Nearly every nation has their own cultural rendition of a spicy condiment to enhance the flavor of their food. While hot sauce has been popular in the U.S. for decades, it's become increasingly popular in recent years. Hot sauce is more than just a common part of street food, as there is a science behind how spicy each sauce is, as well as a history of hot sauce's origins. So let's talk about it. We'll stay on this slide for a little bit more. What is hot sauce made of? Most hot sauce is some combination of chili peppers, vinegar, and salt. Some other hot sauces use mustard, things like that. We're just going to focus on the classic hot sauce. Many hot sauces are actually fermented to add a funky flavor element. They can be liquid or paste, green, red, or even brown. So we'll go to the next slide. The history of hot sauce. Most sources agree that hot sauce is an ancient invention that goes back as far as Mayan times. The first hot sauces were likely just a mixture of peppers and water, but it didn't take long for people to begin breeding pepper plants to develop the most desirable traits in their peppers. Then, as with most foods, colonization led hot sauce to be evolved even further by introducing ingredients from other parts of the world, such as vinegar and other spices. It didn't take long for spicy flavors to reach all corners of the globe after that. In the 19th century, the Tabasco Company brought hot sauce into the commercial scene by bottling and selling their products, mainly to hotels and restaurants. And today there are countless varieties of hot sauce covering a broad spectrum of flavors from sriracha to buffalo sauce. And our next one shows us different styles by region. So I thought this was really cool because I think, probably we all know Tabasco, maybe we know Texas Pete or salsa. But looking at this map, you've got Nam Prik, sambal from Indonesia, gochujang from Korea, mahamara from Syria. Harissa is one of my favorites from North Africa. So there's a whole world of hot sauce to try. So just like most foods, there are people who craft specialty hot sauce and incorporate unique flavors into the mix. You can find artisanal hot sauce with fruity elements such as pineapple, mango, and even blackberry. But most hot sauce types are defined by the region which they originate. So very cool. If you haven't tried some of these, I've never tried the ones from Yemen or the ones from Egypt. I've got to take a little world tour of hot sauce, I think. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the Scoville scale, or the Scoville heat grade. So what is the Scoville scale? The Scoville scale is a system that measures the level of capsaicinoids, which includes all the spicy chemicals, not just capsaicin, in a particular substance. It was developed in 1912 by pharmacist Wilbur Scoville. Its unit of measure, Scoville heat units, or SHUs, is used when discussing the spiciness of a particular food. While tasting spiciness can be a somewhat subjective thing, measuring the chemicals on the Scoville scale provides an objective means of communicating just how hot something is. Humans have enjoyed hot sauce since ancient times, and as with so many foods, it can serve as an international language to bring different people together and find common ground. So whether you're seeking to challenge yourself to taste the spiciest hot sauce on the planet, or you're simply interested in exploring the nuanced flavors of artisanal sauces, there's certainly a hot sauce out there for you to enjoy. So that's it for our hot sauce presentation. Do you have any favorite hot sauces? Do you have a recommendation of a hot sauce I should try? I am all about trying hot sauces, and I would actually, I'm thinking of this right now, I would try some on the show too if we want to watch me try some hot sauces. I'd do it. Deacon George is laughing. He's saying, you're a dangerous woman. I am. And one I just tried recently is Calypso hot sauce, which I've seen a lot of our staff members eating in the cafeteria, and it is amazing. So if you haven't tried it, that's my recommendation. Moving on to famous birthdays for today. One of today's famous birthdays, John Hurt, born on the 22nd of January in 1940 in Derbyshire, England. He is a British actor equally at home on the stage in Shakespearean roles and the big screen in blockbuster movies, including A Man for All Seasons, Watership Down, Midnight Express, Alien, The Elephant Man, 1984, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. However, I know him best as the War Doctor in the 50th anniversary special of Doctor Who. In other famous birthdays today, born in the year 2179, the future, the character Hikaru Walter Sulu, fictional Star Trek character, is born in San Francisco, California. So looking forward to that fictional character's birthday in a little over 100 years. Moving to staff birthdays, today, happy birthday to Karen from nursing, Luis from Hudson House, Sharifa from finance, and Erica from nursing admin. Saturday, Sue and Gladys from home health, Elliot from nursing, and Sunday, Melody from nursing. Today, we've got some wonderful residents celebrating birthdays. Happy birthday, Sandy F, hello. Happy birthday, Eileen N, hello. And happy birthday, Hermie S, as well as Sandy E. On Saturday, William G, hey Bill, happy birthday. And on Sunday, Pamela A and Otis J. A big happy birthday to all of you from all of us here at Good Morning Hebrew Home. So let's get into the meals for this weekend. As always, you know, we've got quite a few to get through. So today for lunch, the lunch is cheese pizza with Israeli salad, and the dessert is oatmeal cookies. Sounds pretty good. For dinner, the soup is vegetable noodles. The entree is Greek chicken and broccoli orzo. That sounds good to me. And the dessert is fruit cocktail. For Saturday, the lunch, the entree is beef stew. Ooh, I've been thinking of making beef stew. Maybe I'll do that this weekend. The side is rice pilaf, and the dessert is peach mango applesauce. For dinner on Saturday, the soup is vegetable and quinoa, and the entree is bolognese lasagna with breadsticks. Also sounds pretty good. And the dessert is chocolate rugelach. I mean, sounds pretty solid. And for Sunday lunch, the entree is meatballs, marinara sauce, spaghetti, and broccoli florets. And the dessert is a brownie. And for dinner on Sunday, the soup is black bean. The entree is garden vegetable quiche, sliced carrots with a fig cookie for dessert. Sounds pretty good. Well, let's get into our positive news story for today. Ginkgo trees were going extinct on their own, then humans saved these living fossils. So now they're everywhere. Lining the streets of many American city suburbs are living fossils, which, unlike many stories of man's interaction with nature, involves nature as the destroyer and mankind the savior. While some people take ginkgo leaf as a nootropic supplement, few people would imagine it's the equivalent of eating a horseshoe crab. That is to say, it's an organism that, unlike every other member of its family, made it out of the time before mammals. Ginkgo biloba stands alone in its family Ginkgoaceae, the last of its relatives dying out likely during the last ages of the dinosaurs. Understanding of the tree's heritage suggests it would have gone the way of T-Rex without a brush with Homo sapien. The evidence for this comes down to the slow arms race observed in evolution. There are 5 types of plants which produce seeds on the earth today: flowering plants, conifers, cycads, and, gonitals, are joined by the lonely ginkgo family, which scientists suggest may have contained many different species based on the fossil record, specifically in China. About 130 million years ago, flowering plants really started stealing the show, developing sweet nectar in their flowers to attract pollinators and sweet fruit to attract animals for dispersing seeds. Ginkgo, on the other hand, relied on the wind to blow pollen from male to female trees. This was hypothesized as being an inconsistent strategy, as ginkgo are sometimes observed to change sex, perhaps a fail-safe mechanism to increase the chances of reproduction. These respective evolutions likely pushed the ginkgo family to the back of the evolutionary bus. By 66 million years ago, according to National Geographic, ginkgo was gone from most of North America and Europe, and by the end of the last ice age, clung on only in China. It's theorized that it was the Paleolithic residents of China who, removing the reeking outer layer of the ginkgo nut in a search of a food source resembling a pistachio, began eating and replanting them to harvest the nuts. Ginkgo is now one of the most common trees in cities along the U.S. East Coast after botanists brought the tree back from China in the 17th century. I love this line. Good for almost nothing, besides offering a bounty of beautiful yellow leaves in the fall when they all change in a very short time. It nevertheless is resistant to pollution and can thrive under concrete. I think that's so interesting. You know, it was going out of style, and now living in our conditions with concrete and pollution, it's hanging on even more strongly. Peter Crane, author of the book Ginkgo and one of the world's foremost ginkgo experts, described the human intervention as a rescue from natural oblivion and a great evolutionary and cultural story. The IUCN still recognizes the tree as endangered in the Red List, the world's largest threatened species catalog, largely due to a lack of ginkgo trees surviving in the wild in undomesticated forms. However, a 2012 study confirmed there are trees surviving in Southeast China that may represent the only truly wild population left. The story shows that while humans often receive blame for sending plants and animals into oblivion, we also have a reputation for saving them too. Well, that's it for today's show. Tune in later today for Catholic services at 11:15, not too long from now, and Shabbat Shalom at 3 p.m. Today's Broadway matinee at 2 p.m. on Channel 88 is An American in Paris. If you missed any portion of today's show, it will be replayed on Channel 88 at 6:30, and you can find all of our episodes on YouTube. Make sure to like and subscribe there. So we will see you Monday, same time, same place, same channel.